morning, everyone. Chill Girl Chrissy here, Alderman in Ward 6. And today's show is going to be about music healing and bringing joy to the great city of Manchester. And our show is all about straight up talk that fuels your mind, body, and soul. And I'm super excited and grateful that Mark Belanger and Jim Mara took the time out of their very, very busy schedules. Mark, welcome. And you are an electrical inspector for the city and extraordinary musician. Thank you. And oh my God, it's amazing. And then Jim Mara, you've been on our show before. You've been my co-host, amazing musician and teacher extraordinaire. And the other thing is, we are having our CHILLFEST. It's our first ever right here. It's a little crinkly this morning, but you know, we're ironing things out. And they are coming on August 15th, Souled Out Showband. Man, already we have a blooper of the day. Welcome, Mark and Jim. And
thank you.
Can you share a little bit about who you guys are and your amazing band? And you know what, I just want you to know your performance down at Tuscan Village last summer is what really sparked my my purpose to bring back a little bit of Riverfest to Manchester, because it was just unbelievable down there. I was just like feeling it, loving it. Everyone was having a great time. And like, we need that in Manchester.
Oh, absolutely.
So can you tell me a little bit about that and who you are, and let's just start this great conversation.
Yeah. Sure. Well, Souled Out Showband's been around for 22 years-ish. We went around 2001, and it's taken us a lot of years to get to the point where we are now, and a lot of musicians to get to that point. And we've done, I can't even count how many, like benefit type shows that, we love to play, we love to entertain. And the past 20 years, have, other than, your normal shows that we have, we take a lot of pride in doing stuff for community, and we have fun with it, just by watching our show, you've seen personally.
You feel it. You feel the magic that your band brings. And you get people moving.
Yeah, and
feeling good.
And the biggest part of that is we're all having fun ourselves, and that's the biggest part of it. I tell people all the time is like, when they ask us how much we get to play or whatnot, I was like, well, we play for free, but we get paid for setting up a breakdown. So, so we love what we do. All the people in the band, it's an 8-piece band, soon to be 9-piece band. We'll have alternate singers that will be able to, get to more places and throughout the year that we're not able to do with everyone's busy schedules. With 8 people, it's hard to keep, everyone available all the time. And
yeah, that's
so
a lot.
It's exciting
8
for
lives,
us to be.
So many schedules, but you guys come together and bring so much joy. I'm like, I like get goosebumps. Like when I see your band up on stage, I feel it. I've seen you guys at the Dairy Field. I'm kind of like a little bit of a fan. I'm actually a big fan.
So
I'm like a junkie. Music is so good for our souls,
It
and you
is.
bring people together.
And that's why we do it. We know none of us do it as a career.
Yeah.
We all have other careers and and work for different companies, and this allows us to project all our God-given talents, to other people and make people smile, make people dance, and that's satisfying to us. The different personalities in the band are a big part of it. Jim is our band clown.
Oh yeah.
Well, all his impersonations, little,
sound effects
in between the songs, and it just makes us laugh. While we're on the stage, we've heard it 100 times. But it still makes me laugh, and you'll see it, when we're on stage, that all we do is laugh and have a good time.
Oh, you can totally see it.
It brings the crowd in. It makes people also have a good time, and lets people let their hair down, without. And sometimes it's hard for an audience, when everyone's sitting down in a concert environment. People feel apprehensive to get up and dance.
Yeah.
And
We want to get up
by
and
the
dance.
way we act on stage, it makes people a lot more free to feel like they can do that and not get judged or
Yeah.
sit down and watch the show. And
Yeah.
So we want people out. We want people out. Even in a theater environment, we
Like
we
Tupelo.
tell
I went and saw
Tupelo,
you guys at
Rex
Tupelo.
Theater.
Yes. And Rex Theater.
and
Yeah, they were
Rex.
out dancing on the side for that.
That's
which
just
is
like
great.
get up and dance, and usually the venues are amenable to that. They let us encourage the people to dance, which is good. Makes it better for us too. If we can see
Yeah.
people having a good time, it just makes us have that much more of a good time.
The good energy feeds off of each other.
It certainly
you know?
does, and that's the way it should be with music. It's all heartfelt, soulful, projection, and it's nice to see after we, now that we've been together for as long as we have,
22 years, did you say?
22, 23 years,
Wow.
and
That's amazing.
it's a
How many different versions of our band have we gone through?
I can't even count that high.
I was in Florida for 11 years. I think you went through 4 different versions while I was gone there.
And again, it's hard for 8 people to always have their schedules aligned
Aligned.
to do this stuff, and sometimes it gets too much for some person, and others. And so there's a lot of turnover in this type of business in trying to perform regularly, and
We're not trying to make, like we said, we're not trying to become rich doing this, but we expect out of ourselves to put on a professional show. We treat ourselves like a band that's out there touring, the world, and make sure the audience is engaged, and we're having, like Mark said, we're having fun, we're dancing around.
Yeah. I don't care if it's 20 people or 5,000 people.
You bring
we put
it.
on the same type
Yep.
of show, and it's appreciated by that's why we've become as popular as we have, and it's a great
What a great feeling.
honor for us
Yeah.
to be able to get to the level where we can perform like that.
And there's not many bands that are doing what we're doing. I mean, you've got a lot of 3-piece rock bands or 4-piece bands, and we're doing music, Chicago, Tower Power, or whatever it is, James Brown, Taylor Swift. We just mix it all up and try and grab everybody. What's funny is we have a lot of shows that we do where the 20-year-old crowd just eats up all of our music, and they're out there dancing. It's stuff they've heard, but they've never heard live, so it's pretty awesome.
And they're feeling
They're
it.
feeling it.
So you guys are enriching our community when you bring your music and your talents, your God-given talents, and I just it's such a beautiful thing. And now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, I've gone to Tuscan Village a few times. Definitely a huge fan.
A groupie. We'll
Yeah,
tell
I'm a
you.
groupie. I'm totally Souled Out
right.
Showband, and I love the name of your band too.
Thank
Tell
you.
me how you came up with that, because
That was
I'm all
kind of
about
a-
soulfulness.
Well, back in 2001, when this was first coming together, I'm a very big Tower Power fan, which is a band from they're still performing now. They're one of my favorite bands to see. They have an album called Souled Out, and so I didn't want to. And there was other bands around the country that had bands called Souled Out, so I wanted to put a little ad, so take a twist on Souled Out, like Souled Out Show.
Yeah.
And Souled Out Showband is kind of how that, intermixed into what we are now.
And it sticks.
And it's worked. It's stuck, and it's good. It's a good acronym. SOSB is is fun. And so that was all a spin-off of a Tower Power album.
We actually
All about
we had actually
inspiration.
just we had gone to a Tower Power concert, him and I, and talked about the
That's right.
band
We were
in
sitting
the parking lot.
lot.
We're like, you know what, we need to do this, and it was born there.
It was born there.
Yeah.
Isn't that the beautiful thing is? It's about having conversations and then all of a sudden ideas and then you spark the spark and then all of a sudden making things happen. And making things happen and to have you guys a part of CHILLFEST.
That's awesome.
For you guys to say yes to us and is huge. And
Well,
I
I'm glad
know
we
how
could.
busy you are and and you guys are everywhere and I can't thank you enough because Manchester, we need this. We need this in Manchester.
Yes,
and,
there needs to be more of this in Manchester.
right?
You and I have talked about this all the time of trying to get more community activities where people
Yeah.
just bring the family out, just come and hang out. Riverfest is a favorite memory for so many Manchester residents.
Yeah.
That's such a huge project. Be amazing to see that
We
come
need
back.
to bring that back.
But having concerts on the riverfront, I mean, it's beautiful down there. It's a gem in the
great
city.
place.
And people I think need to take advantage of just bringing your kids down and hanging out.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm really, really grateful. So the Board of Aldermen, they allowed Peter Telge from Stark Brewery to, borrow those parking spaces so that we can be out there with the tables and the bands and just enjoy the outdoors of Manchester. So shout out to the aldermen that voted
thank you very
to
much.
say yes, because that's how we make things happen, is coming together. And then all of a sudden, other people showing up, and saying yes. And we've had, Kevin Avar from Avco and Mo. They were unbelievable band. They were out last week. I'm like, unbelievable. And then tonight we have Sunday Ave, and there are two young, extraordinary musicians.
I was watching the clips that you put on.
Oh my God, unbelievable,
cool,
right?
yeah.
And so they were the first band that we have ever hired as Chill Cares, and we founded our nonprofit 9 years ago. I lost my dad to prostate cancer, but I was able to let him see what we've been doing for prostate cancer. So we started it right before he passed away. But they were the first ones to say yes, and they were like 11 years old. So to see
great.
them now 21 years old, maybe they were 12 years old, and bringing it. And then we have our Shakers, the Giddy Up for Prostate Cancer. Vinny, that's been 8 years going, but we just love music, and we know that great music, great food, and community, and the outdoors is it's like everything of the best coming together.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's one of the things
and
I
sharing.
look forward to the most in our summers is the outdoor shows.
Yes.
And when the weather's good too.
Yeah.
That helps.
Providing it
we're gonna
doesn't
have-
rain this
we'll
weekend.
have perfect weather. Yeah.
So where are you guys outdoors again? So you're out. So it'll be August 15th.
August 15th.
From 6,
here.
actually I think we're doing 6:30 to 9:30 because, we just make things happen
Yep, and
with everyone's schedule. So it's a little bit
people coming from
later,
quite a
from
ways, so
6:30
it's-
to 9:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really a beautiful thing because it's not easy to get everyone in one spot,
No.
No,
but we're hoping, that we're pushing this a lot on our social media platforms, and I want to see a lot of people turn out. We have a great following in the area. Every place we usually play around here
it's packed.
gets a sizable crowd. So we're hoping that we can generate a lot more interest for this, and make it that much more bigger.
Thank you so
More
much.
bigger.
And so
Much bigger yet next year.
So what that means is you definitely want to show up. You want to show up early. There's a good amount of tables, but I would say bring your lawn chairs too.
Absolutely.
I think they have the beautiful grass area that's just wonderful. Kids, bring your kids. It's just such a good feeling,
Yeah.
I think that's what I loved is when I went down to Tuscan Village and I was like, we need that in Manchester. And
Yep.
we said that because Jim and I, we ran together as, aldermen and as, common sense, conservative people that love our city, that love the arts, that, want to give back. And we were like, we talk about Riverfest and, and how
Yeah, it was a
important.
lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe next year we can bring it back. We can work on that. But CHILLFEST.
Yeah, it's great.
So
It's
much
great to
fun.
be. Thanks for asking us to be a part of this, and I'm so glad we were able to make it happen.
Yeah.
'Cause it was kind of short notice.
It was short notice.
But it's
And you
when,
made it happen. And that's the beautiful thing is, sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith
Yeah.
and just ask. And that's what I did. And I know that these guys are really, really busy. They are packed. They weren't accepting any new shows because you were already booked. And you are blessing our city and everyone that comes to this concert,
and it's simply because it's a great cause, and again, bringing
Thank
more
you.
music to the community that should be more part of community events is music.
And if your kids play instruments, bring them out. You're going to see trumpet player, sax players, guitar players. It's great motivation for those kids to see people doing what they're learning how to do. So, right now, getting ready to go back to school. But get them excited for playing their instruments again. It's just such a rewarding thing. I mean, Mark and I, playing since we're 11, 12,
10.
10.
Wow.
I'm a product of Manchester schools. You grew up in Salem.
I grew up in Salem,
Yep.
which is also a big music community, and it was a great program. Growing up in Salem, and it was a big part of making me who I am today. Is that program in the school? So it's very important what he does, what my instructors did when I was a kid, and it's
Music
we need
matters.
to keep that going. It needs to continue. It needs to, so
We need to
definitely bring the kids out.
Yes.
Those one of the guys I see, during my rounds as an electrician in the city, texted me and said, my son wants to get in the band. Can I have him talk to you? I'm like, absolutely. Bring him to a show. I told him about this one. We're also at Tuscan Village this coming Saturday.
Ooh.
And
Amazing.
So and it's a great place to interact with the younger crowd and get them interested, because that makes us feel good. So when we can spark someone's creativity at a young age, and then Jim can foster them through the school systems, and having teachers involved that are also playing musicians. It's also a big part of, because the students can go out and see their teacher play, and it's like, wow.
Yeah,
I
every
wanna-
time
I
that
wanna do
happens,
that.
I look
That's
out in the
amazing.
audience and I'll see a couple of my students. I'm like, they're looking at me like they don't know who I am, because that's
Different environment.
different
It's
environment.
a different environment, but it gives them a good taste of what they're going through the school, learning an instrument, where they can get to. Not that we're famous or anything, but I like to say we're local celebrities.
Yeah, totally. And I'm a huge
So-
fan. I'm a groupie, totally.
And
You know what? Your music feels good. And
that's what's all
makes
about.
people feel
It's all
alive.
about. We do a lot of music that generates sing-alongs. We do songs that even if you don't know the song, you've heard the refrains of most of the songs that we do, and people just know the words to it, young, old. It doesn't matter. You're able to sing along even if you don't know it at the start. You're singing along by the end of the song, and that's the music we pick, is to promote that. It's just
Bringing people together.
bringing people
It is
together.
our
Making people
international language.
Yeah,
it is.
it's funny.
Of
but
love and community.
Both of our daughters, they're about 10 years difference, but they know like every song that we do. They've listened to music from the last 60 years, and you'll find older people at the concerts like, how do you know these tunes? And like, are you kidding? I've been singing this stuff since I was like 10 years old. So
Yeah, and that's great too, because all our families are always involved in our shows as well. My daughters, I have one that lives in Miami now, so she doesn't get to as many shows. I have another daughter that still lives around here, and she's at all of our shows. And it's it's an honor to me to have them be that interested, where they, come out and see Dad play.
Oh my God, it is. It
and
is.
she's definitely my biggest fan, and I love her for it. It's both of them. And if my other daughter wasn't living in Miami, she'd be with
You must
my
be
other
so
daughter
proud
to-
of you,
to-
yeah, she's always like, that's my dad.
And his kids too.
Yeah.
So it's we keep our families involved.
I think I saw them at the Rex. And they were
oh,
like jam.
they were all together,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how beautiful is that, is family.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, my son William played trumpet all through high school. He didn't take it on in college, and Amanda played saxophone. Molly kind of was in the chorus for most of her musical career, so it's good to be able to pass that along and have them appreciate it.
Yeah, totally.
It's awesome.
It is so good. It is so good. So tell me a little bit. You go from electrical inspector, which is lots of great energy too.
It keeps me busy.
And
No
keeps
pun
you busy.
intended.
Yeah, it keeps me busy, and there's certainly a lot going on in the city
Yeah.
that we, need to go out and make sure things are, being done the way they should.
Yeah, and
And-
safety is key.
Safety is key,
Yeah.
and
And that's why we
So
need
it's-
rules and et cetera and inspectors and
yeah.
how long have you been doing that?
Just over 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I had a long career in the electrical industry, all different facets of it.
Yeah.
And, so coming in as an inspector in a city the size of Manchester was quite daunting, you know, just because
Yeah.
there's a lot to look at, and you know, and everyone at PCD, Planning Community Development, City Hall, they've been fantastic.
That's awesome.
Such a great bunch of people to work with, and a lot of them will be at the show next week.
So
So
awesome.
we're trying to. So
Which is so great.
I need one of these. So
Yes,
I can
all
put it
right,
up in the
I
office.
have some
So-
of these, and I can email them.
Great.
And thank you for making an event out of it on
Yeah,
your
and it's-
Facebook. That's so
Everyone,
awesome.
you know, everyone at City Hall is busy all the time as well,
Yeah.
and they don't get a chance to come out and see us.
And everyone
lot
needs a
of
break.
people- Everyone needs a break.
Let their
and
hair
it's-
down. I love that. Let
There was
their
a
hair
lot,
down.
there were a lot of people that came
you
for
haven't.
our rec show from
Yes.
City Hall,
Yes,
which was awesome.
yes. Pam, I saw Pam.
Pam was there.
Yeah. They got so many people. And Jody, everyone
It was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
It was
you know,
a lot
to-
of fun.
to see the people that you know
that you
that
work
see
with.
me in the business aspect to come out and say like, oh my God, you know,
Like inspector extraordinaire, and then you're like jamming
it's
out.
It's a different world. It certainly is a different world to
Yeah.
perform, you know, for the people that you work with, you know, day in and day out.
And they're like,
It's,
whoa.
What's fun is when you go to a place like the Dairy Field and you see people out from your work and they look up and they're like,
That's you.
they didn't even know you were there, and you see them. It breaks down boundaries when you see people just being themselves. You know, you have a connection that way. It's awesome.
Which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
And we do, you know, with everything that we've gone on in these past 4 years, you know, it's just like we need to let our hair down. We need to shake things off. We need to shake it up. We need to move on. But we need to step up and give back. And I really appreciate you guys doing this special series, CHILLFEST.
I'm glad we're able to do it.
It is-
And thank you so much for
Having
for
the
inviting
bravery
us
to
to do
ask
it.
you. I was like, I'm just going to ask, you know.
I'm glad you did.
We are so
We're all glad you
grateful.
did.
And you're going to be blessing Manchester just the way the other bands are, because music heals people. It brings
does.
joy to Manchester, and it just creates good community, you know?
You
what we
mentioned
love
the last 4 years. I mean, we're lucky we were able to maintain through that. We lost so many bands that just couldn't survive not
Yeah.
being able to play because the bars were closed and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and to me, I'm like, I'll never vote to shut down anything. You know, that's why I ran for alderman. Is I believe that we need to have the freedom to do what we need to do, and
It's important.
it's really, really important. And music heals. Music brings joy. And second of all, stress is the #1 killer. And when stress activates in our body, it shakes up our cells, and it creates disease.
Yeah.
It's the #1 killer is stress. So how do we de-stress? Come out to CHILLFEST. See our show
One good way to
tonight.
do it.
See these amazing guys, Souled Out Showband, unbelievable. Like when you
You'll have a
listen,
good time.
you will have a
Everyone
good
will have
time.
a good time.
You are going to be standing up and dancing, and
That's
or
what
I
we're
might be
hoping.
pulling you up and dancing. It's just such a good time, you know. And that's the thing is, we can't be stuck anymore. We've got to move, and your music moves people.
Thank you.
It really, really does. And I always say, it's not about the dance moves, you guys. You don't need special steps. It's about the movement, you know, and feeling it. And
Well, and the emotion too. I mean, when you hear Kristen do some of her songs.
Amazing.
Every time we hear it, we're just like blown away. And we've heard it, I don't know, a couple
Countless
dozens of
times.
times, and we're still like, Mark and I will, she'll sing and we just kind of play our background stuff, and it's like, it's awesome, it's really cool. And it's funny too, because even though everything we do is intentional, there's that unintentional, playing where, he'll start playing something and I catch on what he's playing, and we'll just improvise background stuff on the spot, and it turns out to be amazing, and sometimes it's more funny than amazing, but
But that's what you get also too, is when you have people that are together for the amount of time that we have, you start to, I know what he thinks, he knows what I think. And if I start doing something, I know he's gonna come in right next to me doing something that's complementary, not the same, but
yeah.
bringing that together to form the chord of that, of what I'm trying to, he catches on, trumpet player will catch on. So it's like, not everything is scripted. We do a lot of stuff, right from the heart and soul, and
That
we're all
creativity.
together enough to know how each other's thinking to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
a
so
big part of a
it's
band
so
is
fulfilling.
the dynamics within the band itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Kristen sings and Melissa, our new singer, a little bit different style, a little bit different vocal range, more Taylor Swift versus Janis Joplin type of, it's going to allow us to do that much more material that makes it more fun for us as well. Because it's definitely difficult to get 8 people together to learn new music. So it's when we bring someone in, I don't want to have our new singer doing all of the same stuff that Kristen does. We want to have her shine with the stuff she does, and it just makes us that much more versatile.
Shine even more, which is hard
So,
to believe because you guys are just so extraordinary.
Both singers will be there next week, so get a taste of both.
I
You'll see
love
what
it.
I'm talking about.
That's like so amazing. So where can we find you if we have a wedding, if we have an event? How do we connect with you? I know you're
Definitely
guys
Facebook
busy.
is a good portal to social media, and we have a group on Facebook that people can contact me. If I can't be available to answer, someone else can jump in. There's several administrators that can go in there and get someone's request with reasonably short amount of time. So that's one good way. We do have a website, but the website is not pushed as much as the social media aspect of things. That's a good place that we can throw up our new videos.
Which is
people
great.
get to see us, and that's where I direct people when they're asking about the band. I'll send them to the Facebook page. And,
Which is Souled Out Showband, SOULED, Out Showband.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys
Yeah,
for
there's tons
chilling
of
with us.
videos on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last things that you want to share before we see you August 15th?
Just once again, thank you for making us part of this. It's great to be asked to do events like this one, and hopefully we'll continue that into the future and
Changing
we'll
lives,
be a part of it next year
giving
too
back.
as well.
That's what we do,
That's what we do.
Through music, through standing up and doing what's right. Kindness.
Most definitely.
Kindness. Oh my gosh. And so much fun, so much humor, so much good music. Thank you,
Have to
Jim.
laugh. We
Oh
always
my
gotta laugh.
gosh. Yes, we
Thank
gotta
you.
laugh. We gotta laugh it off and sing it, bust a move, and we will see you next week at August 15th, Souled Out Showband. And tonight is Sunday Ave, and we will see you down at Stark Brewery, Arms Park, to have a good old time. Thank you, gentlemen, for being amazing.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Chill on.
Thank you so much.